What's up, everybody, and welcome to
The LittleBigKast.
We are typically 4 players searching for that elusive game-life balance. On today's show, Jeff expresses disappointment in Mario Run.
And love for Battlefield.
That's true. All this and more on episode 115 of the LittleBigKast. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 115 of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks.
Hey, Jeff Hawks.
We're 115, right?
Yes,
That's
it's
what I
true.
wrote. So
No, it's
hopefully
totally true.
that's correct.
Yep.
With me, as always, our own Dr. Robin Hazlett
Hoorah.
and Master Drew Tyler.
Rahu.
Again, Rachel's not able to be with us. We miss her.
Oh, we should
Right?
guess what she's been up to. I think Skyrim.
She picked up Titanfall. I'm not sure that she's played a lot
No,
of it.
okay.
I guarantee it a lot of Skyrim.
Yeah.
I know that she went and saw Rogue One.
Okay.
I'm seeing it tonight.
I saw it last week,
Yeah?
Yeah.
which is
Have you?
weird because I don't do that, but I did it. she brought her Rogue One shirt.
This is my night shirt, just
That's
so you
funny.
know. I slept until 11:30 a.m. today.
Lucky bugger.
Lucky? No.
In the Rogue One garb.
No.
Wow.
Not lucky. I had to rip out carpet, move furniture, paint walls last night. So from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m., that was my life.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, I'm still...
You earned a sleep in.
I am really, really hurting, not gonna lie, because like digging up tack strips with a crowbar is not cool.
Hey, I'm hurting too.
Yay!
I'm starting to try not to be fat anymore.
So you're gymming,
You
which
remember
is
how
self-inflicted hurt.
I lost some? You remember how someone told me I had man boobs on the show?
Yeah, it was about a year
This
and a
is
half
long-
ago.
Apparently
it was
that-
a
long time ago.
It's been a while.
That got
Permanent
me.
scarring.
That got me exercising. So
Then
my-
thanks LBK crew for getting Jeff back on
yeah,
the horse.
whoever
Thanks
it
for
was that
being-
said, "Who's the guy with the man boobs?" Thanks for the motivation. But since then, so I got back into shape, and then I hurt my back, and I haven't worked out in like 6 months because I hurt my back. And the unfortunate dynamic of what happens when you have bulging discs is like you don't want to exercise.
Yeah,
So
but
then you
you-
get fatter, and the fatter you get, the more your back hurts.
Oh, this is a downward spiral.
And so, like, basically, you have a spine that's tweaked, and the more weight you're adding to the front,
The more tweaked
the
it
more
gets.
work your back has to do to maintain your posture. So it's just time to get back into shape. So I've actually, what I've had a hard time finding is like a good time to go do it because I work with people that work on the East Coast, and so
Oh, they are.
lunchtime
Yeah.
is their busy
Still
time.
Still working, yeah.
So I've started going in the morning, and I'm working out in a garage with a guy that has a full like kind of CrossFit setup.
Oh dear.
And my first day back, I walked to my car like shaking and kind of feeling like I was having
Seriously?
like a serious
Tremors?
medical episode.
Oh man.
And I was dry heaving like
Yep.
for about an hour after
when you know you
after
did
the
good.
workout.
Wait, is this a CrossFit thing or is this like all workouts?
It's a
just don't know.
CrossFit thing.
Okay, because I don't.
Yeah, it's a CrossFit
I don't
thing.
plan on doing that.
I just got
And
on
so
a
I'm pretty
treadmill.
sore, but I'm feeling good that for the last couple days I've been back at it. I got water today instead of Red Bull.
Whoa.
So we're
That's
we're
kind
working
of a
on
big
it.
deal.
Did
We're
they
working
drop
on
your
it.
sponsorship?
Dude, they never gave me one, and that's
They
some
should-
crap.
That's kind of sad.
Every time I go to the gas station that I buy them from, they're like, I feel bad charging you this price every time you come, and I'm like, yeah, I feel bad that you do as well. I should get some kind of like Cafe Rio has a punch card.
Right.
How come Red Bull doesn't have a
You
punch
should have
card?
a
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yep.
I'm a thinker, but I
like
don't
it.
see it happening. So
That and Cartheter.
yeah, car fitter. We got a whole team of thinkers here. Anyway, I'm just gonna start because I'm talking anyway.
Roll it.
So this week, lots of Titanfall 2. First update. We gotta start from the beginning. That controller mod that we talked through,
Yep.
Drew.
Yeah, it was in episode 114.5. It was a mini episode
Yeah,
where we
what,
talked
what
about
is that
The
thing called
mini-sode.
again?
It was just a mod. I don't think I had a special name, did it?
No, the actual mod. I wanna give it a shout out.
The anti-claw. So for those of you, while he looks that up, this was the controller that has little clicky buttons where your hands usually hold on to the edge of the.
Correct. I've got it right here. I'm gonna share it so
DualShock,
you
right?
can pull it up.
You
Oh
can
my
click
gosh.
it.
The Dominator.
So I'm gonna put it on my just.
Yeah, throw it in the notes and I'll.
There you go. Right there.
Rolled.
Okay. Check this out.
So it's the PS4. They call it the Strike Pack FPS Dominator controller adapter with mod pack, and it's made by a company called the Collective Minds. So we kind of highlighted it on last week's mini episode.
We hadn't played with it yet, right? We just got to demo it.
So there should be a way you should be able to click like video and screenshots.
Yeah.
So there's one that shows like the back of the controller and it shows the paddles there.
Check that out.
Here's what I'm going to say about this. They created a product that fits the controller flawlessly.
Yeah, I was
And
really
it-
surprised
and
how
it
tightly it
works.
fit. Like, it was nice.
It works exactly the way that it should.
That's wild.
The electronic
That the device
remapping
actually does
Yeah.
what it's supposed
And-
to
No,
do.
seriously, and that it's only $40, and that it comes with a 1 year warranty.
Won't screw up.
1 year warranty. So for the exact same thing, essentially, I mean, the controller may be a little bit different, but you look at a SCUF controller, you're looking at $280.
That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's an awful lot.
This does the same thing for $40, and I'm here to tell you today that $40 was maybe the best 40 gaming dollars that I've spent. It is
impressive.
awesome.
Wow.
Remapping the controls is seamless. I mean, all you're doing is you click the button above the paddle, and then you click the button you want it to map to. So you click
You're
that and
kidding,
hold it.
that's it?
You click so I push that button, hit X. Now my left trigger is now X.
And
That's
what
so
about for
easy.
Christmas?
Same on the right side. And that's not even getting into the mods. So I'm not actively playing like PvP games with mods because I kind of feel like that's like a gray area in the cheating world that I'm a little uncomfortable walking that line.
You're very
Yeah.
ethical.
But I have played.
moral.
But I have played with it in
Just by yourself? You played with-
solo
you know?
in PVE just to kind of see how it works, and it's freaking sweet.
Nice.
So in Destiny, if you select one of the high impact scout rifles, you have a ton of recoil. They have a recoil adjustment or an anti-recoil mod that basically what you do is you equip your weapon that you want to use and you pull the trigger, right?
Watch
and you
it
see the
bounce.
recoil.
Right.
So you go into the mod and then you adjust the rise and fall with L1 and R1. So you shoot it and you see, an inch of recoil. You hit L1 12 times. Shoot it again, you're seeing like a millimeter of recoil. And what it's doing is it's taking your left thumbstick, the one you use to look around, and it essentially tells the PlayStation 4 that you're pushing that forward as you pull the
Right.
trigger. So it's compensating for your recoil. So you could certainly use that in PvP. I'm currently not. I don't know.
I
just
agree.
walk this like ethical gray line. It's like it's
You're
gray
pretty.
line
You're
that
pretty
I'm
healthy about
uncomfortable with.
yeah.
So, but it's still awesome that it does. It's actually really, really cool that it does it, and I think it's a phenomenal product. Like I could not be happier with the purchase. For a lot of people, it will be a drawback that it has to be hardwired, but I play in front of a monitor.
'Cause that is kind of
Like,
strange
yeah.
that you
Yeah.
got to be there, but
And the reason that they do
Give
that
and
is
take,
that's,
man.
I mean, that's you can pay $280 to have it wireless. I guess that's
yeah,
the
that's
difference. For $40, it's a win-win.
that's a small drawback.
But I will say that playing games like Titanfall and Destiny with that has been awesome. So I
better
jumped
KD
into the
ratio
Destiny,
or whatever they call it.
I've jumped into the so my KD really hasn't been affected yet because I'm still kind of relearning my muscle memory. I definitely am still kind of stuck on traditional movement, and so just relearning, that the left is my left bumper is to jump, my right bumper is to slide, is taking some time to learn. I expected
sense.
like a week or two to figure that out, but like I played the Destiny SRL event and have remapped the R1 and L1 buttons, which are your like kind of shift left and shift right
oh right,
to the back, so that I don't ever have to take my trigger off the acceleration. And makes a huge difference. Like I can constantly be accelerating. I don't have to shift my hands. I don't have to move anything around, and I can be shifting left
still
and right
bounce without-
so that I can be moving more efficiently.
I like that.
In Titanfall, movement and fluidity and speed are kind of the name of the game in Titanfall's PvE, and to be able to go in there and never take your thumb off of your movement stick
yeah, that's nice.
is huge, and so it's been an awesome. I couldn't be happier with the purchase. So this is me reporting back. If you've been thinking about a Scuff controller, if you've been thinking about, who are some of the other ones? Battle Beaver, Cinch Gaming. There's a number of different modded controllers on the market. Seriously
just wanna
consider.
know if it will help me with my puzzle games. Like, can I be faster at solving my puzzle? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I can do it.
I don't play it. Like, I just don't play enough hardcore PvE. That's
yeah,
me,
it's definitely
guys.
something that would benefit.
It's not what I do.
If you can benefit from having the controllers in the back,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the game, I think you're going to benefit. And for $40, it's a steal. And so seriously, if you've ever considered looking into Scuff, Battle Beavers, Cinch, it is definitely worth taking a minute to just make sure that first of all, I'd rather spend $40 to know that I don't want something that costs $280.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are a number of people who have bought those controllers and like, dude, I don't like this. This isn't comfortable for me. This can be a really cheap way of figuring out whether or not it's going to work for you and with your game style.
I really wish we could do like a try to buy kind of thing.
You
Just
can
like,
borrow Jeff's, and
Yeah.
you can try it,
Well,
and then we buy.
You can do that. But I hear you.
yeah, it's like, hey, come into GameStop where you can demo all of these things.
That would be cool.
Because
That's a
that
great
would be
idea.
Like
very
a Netflix
nice.
for mod, like, or things.
Yes.
But you just, whatever you want, it's in our list. We ship it to you. You try it out and ship it back.
Yes. Or what was it? Remember when Netflix tried to split off into like, or like Flickster.
Yeah.
And,
Flickster?
Yeah, and then that died fast.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
Instantly.
That's right. I remember now.
It's like, how dare you?
So
No.
outside of those, I also picked up Battlefield 1.
Oh, really?
Just because I had finished Titanfall 2's campaign, finished Dishonored twice, and I was like, I just want another. Like, I'm enjoying having stories told.
Yeah.
So I jumped into Battlefield 1, and I've got to say their campaign is, it's very unique. So they tell true stories from World War I in their campaign. Like, you play as people that lived at that time, that fought and died at that time. And so the introduction of Battlefield 1 is actually really, really, really interesting because it, if you have if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you understand that like I'm a little bit of a history nerd.
He's kind of a nerd.
A little?
I don't have the time to devote to it to say that I don't know
You're
that
more
I have
than
the
most.
time to
You're
say,
more than most people.
Yeah,
I
time.
like history.
Time. Am I the only one that is completely destroyed that Marco Polo
Yeah, that
got
was a
canned?
bummer.
Yeah.
That was kind of out of left field because that was really well done.
It was.
Um,
Time in.
Time in. But what they do with Battlefield 1 that I really appreciated was because a lot of the people that play it, quite frankly, like don't have an appreciation for what World War I actually was and how bad it actually was. Like
Yeah.
it's very difficult to appreciate the gravity of like just how horrible World War One
it
really
was
was.
brutal.
And while we didn't lose people in the same way and on the same scale that we lost people in World War II, you have to understand that before World War One, they were riding in like it was like cavalry charges with people dressed in
was
like
just
red
like-
uniforms with shining hats and like this very gentlemanly like approach to war to like, oh, we've invented a machine gun that will decimate your army.
Right.
Like the French, when they first started fighting against Germany in World War One, the officers were going out in traditional field dress.
Right, like the
Like,
whole
we don't think about
the
that.
whole rules of engagement, combat, things of that.
And what's really interesting is at the beginning of the war, it was a violation of the French code of conduct to have an officer lie down on the ground. And so
Really?
officers were lining the trenches, standing up and being mowed down and just being replaced. Well, it's against your code of conduct. It dishonors you and your family and your military
And yet,
career
Yep.
to do this. And so just utterly getting slaughtered by Germans who had abandoned these traditional warfare
Yeah.
tactics.
It's like the
they evolved first.
like going for a guerrilla warfare versus traditional.
Right. Totally. And so, it was the first time that chemical weapons had ever been introduced. It was the first time that you had heavy artillery, machine guns, tanks. And so the introduction of Battlefield 1 walks you through all of those scenarios. Like, and you die. You play as like 12 different people that die within the first like 3 minutes of you playing as them.
Yep.
And you're meant to die.
Yeah.
You fight to the death. So in one, you're in a trench and you're taking you're like looking over the trench and you're taking pot shots, and then you see this green smoke moving towards you. And it's like,
You can't
oh,
get
here
it.
comes the gas.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is like the gas in the game moves the same way that the gas did on the battlefield. So in real life, people were describing this chemical and these gases as being just this
Walls.
slow moving wall of green or yellow gas, right? So slow, in fact, that they were like, you could outrun it by walking. Like you could walk and stay ahead of this gas that would literally destroy your lungs, have you coughing up your own lungs, and you would choke to death on the froth of your own lungs.
Yeah.
But if you were to get out of your trench, you'd be mowed down.
Right.
And so
it's
you're facing this decision: do I get out and be mowed down by machine guns, or do I take my chances against the gas? And so you face that decision in Battlefield 1, and you either get out of the trench and get shot, or you stay in the trench and you choke to death on your
either
lungs.
way.
You have one where you're charging a little town, and they're surrounded by Germans, and you're trying to shoot, and a dude with a flamethrower comes out and roasts you. And as you die, the screen goes black, and it will say like Corporal Jonathan Windsor, 1896 to 1920.
Yep.
And it tells you like this is the person that you just played that was roasted by a German flamethrower at this battle. And so then every battle that you fight, and what's really cool is the way that they've put the campaign together is they're telling you multiple stories from World War One. You're not following one protagonist through the whole thing.
That's gorgeous.
So you go through one tank mission in an MK1 tank, as this guy who's never worked in a tank before. It's like his first time in an armored vehicle.
Wow.
And he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's trying to figure it out. And eventually, like, he has to go forward and scout because the tank has been damaged. And this all happened. Like, there was a British soldier who had to be leaving his tank. He's a private, had no rank, had to go out of his tank, scout forward, kill German troops behind their lines in the middle of the night, so that he could then escort his tank back to safety. And like that really happened. And so it's this very cool, we talked a lot about World War One when we played Valiant Hearts.
Yeah.
And how refreshing it was to play a game that like
it was real. It was
and
rooted.
that you learned from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my hope is that people that play this game play it and take it for more than just the game, and really try to understand like the experience of it. Because I'll tell you what, playing through this and like, thinking back on some of the things that I've read, I was like, dude, this game makes me really afraid for what the next thing might be.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure, yeah.
Because nobody else saw that coming.
because the truth is, like, and I'm not trying to get political here or whatever, but like as a nation, like we haven't seen real warfare
oh no.
since,
No.
I mean, realistically, since World War II. Because even in Vietnam, like we were fighting human beings that were trying to, like, again, I don't want to politicize this, but like we were fighting guerrillas, right?
Like,
War
you
is-
didn't play
war-
by-
you- War is about politics,
We were not.
That's true.
We were not in a superpower versus superpower situation.
Yeah.
The way that we were in World War II, and that is actually like a terrifying thing. And so I appreciate when a game forces a little bit of realism on me. And so I've really enjoyed my time with it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm enjoying it.
See, if they would have pitched it the way that you did, I would have pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
And just like, here's like actual things that are happening. And so, yeah, and I was going to be a high school history teacher before I went down this path.
I was going to as
So-
well until I talked to a college history professor who was like, "There's no money. Don't do it."
It was like, there's no money, and
He
unless
was
you
like,
can coach
he
a
was the
team,
best-
don't do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's
Yep.
like, unless you plan on coaching two or more sports and teaching math on the side, he's like, write off high school history. And if you want to be a college professor, you're going to need to be a published author.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And that's
"Well,
terrifying."
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I care about history. I'm passionate about it. I would love to like push that passion onto other people, but you just You just killed it.
Yep.
Thanks,
Yep.
dude.
Yep.
The Slayer of
He
Dreams.
was a great teacher, though. Anyway, that's been my. Well, we finished
So-
Narcos as well.
Ooh.
Gotta love Narcos. That show's
been
amazing.
busy.
That's another one of those shows where.
busy.
So I watched it with Claire. Claire didn't want to watch it at first, and I was like, This is a stranger than fiction story that you need to hear.
Yeah, and
Like the crap.
Escobar.
Like Pablo Escobar's empire is so insane. Like, and to think like I was a kid when this was all.
oh yeah,
happening.
and I'm just like,
It's-
la, la.
It's freaking mind-boggling that he was able to do the things that he did.
The
and
rise is
survive For as
amazing.
long as he did, and I was like, Claire, you just need to watch it. And the whole time we're watching it, she's like, I can't believe this is real. I can't freaking believe this is real.
He
She's
built
like
his own
Googling it.
castle.
She's Googling it to like verify that what we're watching actually happened. The whole show. She's like, no way did that happen. Google. It freaking happened. It's nuts.
That's
Built
awesome.
his own castle prison.
And called it a prison and hung out in there.
Yeah.
And then escaped when they decided to put him in a real
To
prison.
actually put him in a real
Yeah.
prison. It's good
Oh
days.
my gosh.
What about you guys? That was a really
Well,
that was like the
No, that
traditional
was good.
Jeff
That was-
intro.
I was
That
trying to
was-
figure this out. Like you said Dishonored twice, Titanfall 2 is
Yeah, but
done.
that was
you
a while
played-
ago. I
But you-
mean,
but
that's
you-
since it's come out.
Right. Wow, that's
And in
I-
fairness, my second playthrough was very quick because I was like full chaos, like
'Cause
just
you knew
kill
what you
anyone
were
that got in my way.
I don't know. I just trying to compare like what I've been able to game even in the
Oh,
last
yeah,
2
not
weeks.
even.
Yeah, I think
Not
I played
even.
stories a little bit of
Oh
stories.
yeah, I played some stories.
Yeah,
too.
I played Final Fantasy 15, but mostly on the pause menu, just kind of listening to the music.
Oh.
So now I guess I've racked up like 60 hours.
Of just
but
listening to-
I am not actually playing the game. I think I'm on chapter 4. So
But it's racked up 60 hours of gameplay on pause.
I know.
That's funny.
But, you know,
That's really
side
funny.
quest your life.
Well, I've got it when you posted on our LBK Facebook page that it was on sale on Amazon. I'd been sitting on the fence because like, boy, I would love to have another. You know, I have
It's a pretty
other
good
games that
story.
are sitting there, right? The Titanfalls and other things. But I thought that might be a fun one to do with kids, like, or at least even
Yeah.
with Peach, like another Witcher style like game. So when you posted it was on sale, I was like, "Happy
I was
birthday
do,
to
do,
me!"
do.
It wasn't on
Yep.
digital. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is annoying.
But then I'm just gonna probably bring it up here and share it. Up
No,
with
and that's
this one,
awesome.
right?
But it's still like,
Oh.
at what point are they going to realize like digital is their best bet at making money? Like,
Yeah.
I'd
the
like
cost,
the
all the
immediacy,
overhead
right?
is eliminated instantly.
And that
Shipping-
immediate, like,
disk
just give it to me
cost.
now. I can go play it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
foolish.
but that's all right. I was already shipping like 100 things for freaking birthdays and Christmas. You guys know I had 2 birthdays this week, Christmas and a birthday next week.
Busy
I'm
guy.
serious. The
It's busy.
spring break teacher correlation.
I think it's true.
Spring break teachers.
I think it's true, but that's it. I played stories. I've enjoyed that. We can talk about stories a little bit later after news. That's our game of the week. Game of 2 weeks, I think.
Yes.
But other than that, I finished grading, got those in. Just been hanging out at the house, but not really hanging out. Still working the part-time job and just keeping full-time in the part-time job. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
doing it all.
just take this little itty bitty piece of extra responsibility. You'll be fine.
You can do
About
this.
7 sleepless nights later.
Right. It's
No, I got that awesome eye cream. I'm not wearing it today. That eye cream that makes the bags under your eyes disappear. Oh, yeah.
I gotta just try really hard to get bags under my eyes. I need to work harder to get bigger bags under my eyes. That's how I know that the gaming is also being served as well as the life.
Ah, that is
Because
true.
every night that I've tried to play, even last night, Peach was like, I'm gonna sit by you and watch you. I'll just cuddle up while you play. I was like, great. So I started playing stories, and about 20 minutes into
I was
it,
going to say, I give you 20 minutes.
Yep, 20 minutes in, and I reached over to get some Jelly Bellies out of the big bucket, and that woke her up, and so she's like, I'm going to bed. So she left me. So then it wasn't as fun, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right. And I started falling asleep within 5 minutes of that, so I was like, can't do it. I just keep falling asleep too soon.
I can't wait to talk about stories. I seriously can't wait.
Yeah, I'm
So,
excited as well.
But what,
Do you have anything else
in-
to add to your week?
Yeah, your week.
my week of
You did some house construction.
yesterday was house construction. So from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. That was my life, ripping out carpet, tack strips, all the 9.
Which is not easy.
No.
They put those in with cement. Like, are yours glued or like cemented, like nails?
There's nails in it. And it was miserable. I had this little mini crowbar that I was just.
I love to
like,
see Robin with the
hacking.
crowbar.
Oh yeah, it's
Robin
it's a,
with the
It's
crowbar.
a good time. No, I worked my summer job when I was in high school was a paint crew.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I'm pretty good with manual labor and things like that. So, but the good news is that I can paint an entire room about the size of this room in about an hour and a half minus the cutting.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, I got skills.
Yeah.
So that was my yesterday, and before that, it was me getting sick for graduation. Yeah, that was not fun. So I couldn't even go to graduation.
Yeah, we missed you. Although I got stuck. I sat in the wrong spot. I should have left when
We always sit in the wrong spot.
I got stuck. So it was 2.5 hours of reading names, and I knew like 6 of them.
Yeah, isn't that fun? It's like 1, 2, 3. No, that one.
I did get
yeah.
I got a lot of work done, but oh
Yeah,
man, I did miss you. I did miss you.
That's always tough. I tried to send entertaining memes during
She
it.
did. She did. And except for there was no internet in there either. I don't know if they
Oh my gosh.
crunched it or what, but I
They-
did not get all up.
They
That
wanted
makes it
to be
even harder.
focused.
Yeah, it was hard.
Oh yes, and Jimmy and Scott came over to help pull out all of the staples from the padding from the carpet, and yeah, they came over about like 8:39ish. So
They got the tail end.
they got the tail end, and that's good. At least I got something. So I'm happy with that. I will never turn down help. But so I got sick Friday, and then Layla got sick Monday.
Yeah.
And
Boo.
I know. So I was on the way to drive my friend to the airport, and then I get the call of like, "Hey, Layla's in the office, and she's pale, and she's not really talkative." And I'm like, "Oh, she's not talking. It's over.
Oh, no.
It's over
Oh, no,
now."
that's how you know. Shoot. See, and one of mine got sick Monday.
Yeah, I think that it's the pre-Christmas.
Hopefully it
just-
gets mine's croup.
exodus.
Did you find out what yours?
Oh, no, I don't know what it was. It was dizzy spells and nausea. So, but
Sad.
yeah, but the good news is that that's done, because our Christmas tradition is whoever's fever breaks first gets to open all the presents, because we're always all sick.
That's a fantastic. If you prefer, as soon as you're clear.
Incentivizing health
That's good.
wellness.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
You just get
funny.
to open all the presents because everyone's too sick. It's okay, Layla. You just open it. Tell me what it is.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
But yeah,
Can I bring up one other thing before we move on?
yeah.
Pokemon Go or not Pokemon Go. Mario Run sucks.
Do you want to talk about Mario Run?
Oh, yes. Let's go. Let's go.
I just want to say it sucks. That's what I want to say.
I played 4 levels. 3 levels. Three levels.
The
That's
three
all-
that you can
the
play
3
without
that you can
paying?
play without paying. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
they're
that's not-
freaking boring.
You don't like
Is
them?
it? I
Oh, man.
haven't.
I thought it was super slow paced.
I refuse to play it. Is it like the Runner 2, like Bit Trip Runner?
No, it's not even that fun.
Really?
It's too slow because Bit Trip at least gets faster
Yeah,
and faster, and it's like it's like
this is freaking slow. It's like
So I'll tell you what. Yeah. What I did love about it is I love being back like in that original world. I love playing with Mario. I love the sound.
get
I
that.
love the design.
The nostalgia.
Really loved the screen that they have to get you through the worlds that you have to pay for. Looks so much like the Super Mario Bros. 3 layout, right? That kind of style where it's just like, oh, you move here and then you move here and then try this house. Like, I don't know. That's kind of the stuff that I enjoyed. But what was the price? Was it $6.99, $4.99? Whatever it was,
I
it
think
still
it's like
seems steep.
$8.99.
It was just steep. It was like I paid that for like a PSN game.
Yeah.
That was that was a little bit more entertaining. It's a good Smash Time game, but you're right.
See,
It
even
wasn't
for
enough.
me,
Too slow for
I'm
that.
Too slow. Like
I know,
It was totally freaking boring. Like I love the nostalgia stuff, but bottom line, a mobile game, it's got to be fun.
I would
this
rather-
was not fun at all to me.
I would much rather play something like Subway Surfers, even.
Yeah, I mean, on the first level, I'm playing through it, and I'm like, this sucks. And I wanted it to be like I
know.
wanted
A lot
to
of people
like
wanted it to be good.
I wanted to like it, and it like going through it, I was just like, this freaking thing sucks.
Do you think it's like they were aiming for like this nostalgia level of like, I don't know, maybe they missed it. 10 years ago, it would have been great nostalgia because it would have been
Probably.
like this type of game would have been leading the pack.
I
but
think
it
once again,
didn't
it's
have
just
a whole lot of whistle.
It's just another freaking misstep by Nintendo. Like, I need to stop being surprised.
Did you hear the Switch? Like somebody said, don't when you pull the Switch out of its like dock,
It's like
Oh.
it
goes
loses
40% of
loses
its
its
power
power.
is gone.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, then it's not as exciting. I mean, you expect that with a portable, but still,
Yeah.
that's a bad spin of PR right there. If somebody pulls that out and goes, "Yep, here's the latest news."
Yeah, it's not going to do the things that you
Yeah.
want it to do. So,
Oh.
yeah, this is usually why I wait for the early adopters to go digging through
Figure it out, break it up.
Then I'll get the second edition.
So
I'm
here's,
okay.
here's what's
There you
funny is and then, I mean, technically, I guess this belongs more in like news discussion, but
We could go there.
the reality is, I think the same language that you're hearing today from Nintendo fans is exactly what they said about the Wii U.
Like
Exactly.
Like,
pretty- yeah.
it's cute, but
They're
what
like,
do you do with it?
well, no.
And-
I'm gonna even take it a step further. The Nintendo apologists are like, they know what works. They're gonna go with what works. They're gonna go with their Zelda. They're gonna go with their Mario, because they know that people will buy it. I'm like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
except that their little dinky classic Nintendo just outsold the Wii U in a weekend.
yeah,
Okay, that's
that's very, very telling.
The Wii U has been a total failure, like an unprecedented failure. Like
Yeah.
didn't
Neo Genesis. Oh, what was the
Neo Genesis.
the little
the
tiny
Neo
one.
Genesis that totally the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamcast
No, it was-
survived, but
Was it Dreamcast? What was it? It was a Sega. It was a Sega console.
Dreamcast.
No, that was
Neo
Nintendo.
Geo.
Neo Geo.
Yeah,
no,
that's
Jaguar. I'm thinking Jaguar.
Oh,
Jaguar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a deep dig.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
wow.
That's the kind of failure I think the Wii U has been, and I think they're setting themselves up for another one with Switch. And
You think
like,
I want to hope. I want to have some hope in the world, so I want to say like that could be really neat. I don't think I'll get it, but
that's what
I want to
everyone said
succeed
about
for
Wii
them.
U. What
I know, you're right.
What did
you're
you
right.
hear people say about Wii U that you're not hearing today from those same
That's true.
exact people?
That's true.
Like, I don't think we're hearing anything different from those people. So I'm not even like, I don't even have hope. Like, I'm not even
I want to have
remotely
hope.
interested.
Screw
I want to
2016.
have hope.
Not even
Screw
remotely interested in Switch.
2016.
You're gonna throw Nintendo
Anyway.
in the 2016.
Those
Nin-
are my thoughts.
the Nintendo Switch announcements and product specs themselves, unless they can completely overhaul themselves,
won't.
screw 2016.
No, they won't.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this as well. The classic Nintendo,
Yes.
everyone will be stoked when they open it on Christmas Day.
And then go,
They'll put 10
that's
hours
nice.
into it. I would go as far as to say this. I'll bet you that 90% of the people that bought this game system will put 5 to 10 hours into it, and they'll be like,
That was
that was
that
enough.
was a
I
fun
remember
trip
that.
down memory lane. I'm
And
done.
What is
that
it?
was a fun trip, but it's dated.
$50?
and I'm
What's it
done.
at?
60.
60 bucks. If you could take that same 5-10 hours for yourself, pass it on to kids for another 5-10 hours, then you know what I mean, like it's a
I
show
could
off,
see-
right?
I
But
think
it might
the
be worth
kids,
the
though,
60.
The kids are going to pick it up and be like, "This is too hard. I can't save stuff.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
can't save my progression. That's crazy." And they're
'Cause
going to be
we've-
pissed.
We grew up with
That's
it.
right.
Like we were like
We
slowly
leave the machine
introduced.
on over dinner and through the night
That's
if you
what
had
you
to.
do.
And
And, you
anyone-
make sure you have enough ventilation to make sure it doesn't overheat.
Yep.
And I'll say this too. So they were making a big deal about what a huge success it was because it sold like 160,000 units in a weekend. Let me just remind you that this costs as much or less even than the last Call of Duty game cost.
Yeah.
So before we tout
Yeah.
this as a huge monumental success, let's keep in consideration that this is the price
price
of a game.
point.
Yep.
This is not a console that's being sold as a console. It's the freaking price of a game. I have like very little
There-
patience for Nintendo apologists anymore, and I'm in a couple of chats, and you're part of the one,
I see
the
some.
Fathers of the Grind one,
Yeah.
where people will defend the Switch, and I just don't get it. Like I don't, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. I love that we have gamers of all makes, shapes, and persuasions. But I'm almost offended at this point by like
By the
Nintendo's
keeping-
complete lack of regard for the hardcore gamer, quote unquote, the hardcore gamer. Because the truth is, even
They're trying
even a
to-
16,
They've been
even a
served, though.
14-year-old kid
Yeah.
or a 10-year-old kid, I don't know a single 10-year-old kid that would rather play a freaking Nintendo game.
Unless their parents were like,
Over-
you don't get the,
Yeah, you don't get a
big-
PlayStation
the big
4.
heavy ones.
There's nobody that prefers the Wii U to a PlayStation 4 unless their parents just aren't giving them a choice.
I'll give you that. Yep.
I think okay.
And when I say no
wanna
one,
have hope.
obviously there's someone, but I'm saying it's a very low, it's a nominal percentage.
I want to have hope.
Anyway, that's my thoughts.
All right.
You just give up on hope.
And that, my friends, is not the news. That is
That's the
Jeff's. That is Jeff's week.
That is our
Bring
That's
on the
our week.
news, Drew.
I've got some.
Drew's news.
All right, so news number 1 this week. We've got a lot of fun newses. The biggest thing that we want to talk about is Gravity Rush 2. Is that the biggest?
What?
No, it's just number 1.
It's the biggest for me.
Demo coming tomorrow.
Forget you guys.
Demo coming tomorrow for Gravity Rush. That'll be kind of an exciting thing. It's an early Christmas gift, really.
Yeah, it's an early Christmas gift for me. Is it like a demo that you can like begin the download now? Because I'm going to begin the download on my phone.
You're going to get it going right now?
Oh, yeah,
already?
right now.
Probably.
Watch me go.
It says right there. Will be available to download on the PlayStation Store tomorrow, December 22nd, from 6 p.m.
But that's 6 GMT. Is that Greenwich?
I don't
Greenwich
know.
Mean Time?
I can find out.
So it's about midnight.
Yeah, don't care. I will set an
You're going to
alarm.
make it.
Alexa, buy this.
I had to order my own Christmas. I got an Alexa Dot. I'm excited to
Oh
see
my
it.
gosh, I love it.
Do you have one?
Yes.
See, I've been excited. I love
Warning,
Siri, but...
don't let your kids know she tells jokes.
Oh, no.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
And she does.
Oh, they're all puns. They're so bad,
Oh,
but I
boy.
love them.
Oh, boy. So that's news number 1. Demo 2 coming tomorrow if you see that. CD Projekt Red just got $7 million in government funding to research a seamless multiplayer and city creation. Maybe, hopefully, we think for, Cyberpunk 2077. That game we saw a little bit at E3, didn't we? Right? And so it's kind of cool to get that much money as a government grant.
Yeah.
And then to be able to do something like that in the gamer world.
6
Which
p.m.
makes you wonder,
6 p.m. GMT should be 11 a.m. our time.
Is it really?
Now?
I thought we were 6 behind, but okay. But tomorrow, 11 a.m. Tomorrow's 11 a.m. 22nd, right? Because it's
Correct.
It's tomorrow. So then government grants
Time isn't real.
for gaming. Time isn't real.
Time isn't real. Just
I'm just trying to figure out where the government's getting involved or what this grant is for CD Projekt Red. To figure out seamless multiplayer and city creation. I wonder what the grant wording was where they were like, you know what, we should just apply for this because we're going to figure it out. Like, I don't know, it's just an interesting pot of money to be like, let's see what the government has to offer. I just don't see game developers and government.
I'm pleased that they are getting funding and that.
Oh, well, there you go. It's a Polish government. That helps.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it
this
would
isn't the US.
totally not.
But still,
No,
there's
no,
like,
no, no,
what are
no,
they?
no.
That's interesting.
No, not America. No, they
pot of
have
money.
tons and tons of grants for video game development in basically every single country because they see it as a really good way to boost the economy without
okay.
taking on a lot of overhead. You know, like, oh, we're going to create more jobs, so we have to build the infrastructure, we have to build the factories, we have to do all this stuff. But if you're building software, all you need is your
Dark basement
a
with
little dark basement and
incense burner.
lots of Cheetos.
And Cheetos, that's all it takes. It's very interesting. So I think it'd be fun to follow, and hopefully it shows up in Cyberpunk 2077. But that's an interesting way to get money to fund a game. That's no
smart.
Kickstarter. That's like,
and honestly, the government benefits so much from it. Like when the economy gets boosted, they get a lot more information because they're trying to work like an idea of like the city builder. They can do simulations for like disaster drills.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Things like that they're going to be able to share from what CD Projekt Red pulls out from this.
Maybe they'll take some of that seamless multiplayer that they're working on and try to do like an Oasis style. Like, let's just get as many people in here to have school as possible, right?
Let's think. The seamless multiplayer, that's exactly what it is. And the city building, they're building their own alternate reality.
Come and live here when the world is.
I said it first.
Cyberpunk dystopian reality.
Yep. Other
I'm
news.
really excited for that game, by the way.
I am too. It'll be fun, and I love it's getting this kind of backing because that's some good press and good movements. Other news number 3, WB Montreal cancels an unannounced Suicide Squad game. Never even heard about it, did you?
Because it was unannounced. So why is this?
The news is that they're shifting
Yeah.
whatever resources were about to be slated for that unannounced game over to Batman.
Well, maybe if they could shift some resources over to making the flippin' movie, okay?
That's what I was going to say.
I'm sure there's
That show
some.
was freaking worthless, dude.
Was it? I never saw it.
So I went on a day that I didn't have anything to do with work. I was like, I
Like
need
those
a
even
break. I
exist.
just need
You
to
gotta
go- I
take
just need to
yourself to a
take a
movie.
minute. So I went to the movie, and halfway through the movie, I got a notification that I was supposed to be on a conference call. So I left the movie for almost 45 minutes, came back in the movie, and I was able to pick up right where I left off.
Yeah.
Really? You had no
And,
problems?
Like I missed nothing. And I was like, the show freaking sucks.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause they-
not good at
They
all.
had 2 goals out of it, which was odd. Like one was we need to get this person, and then the other one was we need to get this strange hula hooping witch thing.
Oh wow. Okay, now I don't even want to see. That didn't even sound enticing to me. It's like, who
Super
pitched
weird.
this movie and got it
Just
approved?
watch the Honest trailer.
There we go. That's what
Watch the Honest trailer, and what's funny is that the Honest trailer is not funny because
'Cause it is
it's
what it is.
It is so factual.
I'll tell you what is
They're
funny.
like, we're sorry.
What was funny was I watched the was Empire Strikes Back bad lip reading with Yoda singing the song about poking and seagulls, and that made me laugh. I enjoyed that one a lot.
I showed my mother the bad lip reading of NFL coaches and officials. I thought she was going to just
Oh, that one is
fall
hilarious.
over.
Like the strangeness in there is just funny. Yeah.
Dibbidi-boppidi.
So, this is fun stuff. All right, another news. A leak has said that Red Dead Redemption 2 has 3 protagonists. So maybe multiple playable protagonists that you can pick and choose in Red Dead Redemption 2. Who you get to take out, like take out on the road, I guess. Who you get to drive. This is kind of cool. Like that gives it replayability. That gives it lots of opportunity. Do you think it changes story? Do they say a lot in here about whether?
So I think they're doing. I mean, they're following the Grand Theft Auto route, right?
Yeah, I really think they're going to do that. Something along that line because it's their franchise.
'Cause it is
their-
That's their deal.
Right. So my thing is, I loved Red Dead 1. I thought John Marston was a perfect character, and I loved the story that it told. I've never been a Grand Theft Auto guy, and but I mean I know enough about like the last iteration that I can say like I don't think I would have enjoyed jumping between characters the way that you do in there. And so I'm a little apprehensive at this rumor.
I think that this could be a very good thing. As far as, because like Grand Theft Auto, you could jump between whenever you wanted to. I keep on seeing how they might treat this one, at least how I'm hoping they'll treat this one, is how they treated Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Was there are maybe specific things that one character can do that the other one can't, and that it would make sense within the
Right.
story itself. It's still one overarching story, but you get to play as either Evie or Jacob in Syndicate, and it moves very seamlessly. So it isn't like here's 3 different stories. It's like here's one story from 3 different perspectives.
This sounds like they said it's going to also be possibly be a prequel, and so the 3 characters are members of John Marston's old gang that were around before even Red Dead ran. So this would be like setting up what we already know.
Interesting.
So that could be kind of
That could be cool.
interesting, fun way. So and John is not one of those 3 members.
Yeah,
He had his moment in
Wonder
the
if he's
sun.
an NPC that you interact with and you're working
it's
around.
just like
Maybe
no,
that- keep him-
come back.
All right, move on. News number 5. Crytek closes 5 studios after a rough year.
Yeah.
So financial hardship, Crytek closes studios in Hungary, Bulgaria, South Korea, China, and Turkey. They plan to refocus core strengths of developing innovative games and game dev technology. Remind
This is
me,
what we talked about last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about this a little bit, right?
Yeah, that they weren't getting paid.
Crisis and
Yeah, they
Rise.
weren't paying
For the
devs.
second time.
Yeah, which should have been like a
It's like-
notice.
Big flag.
Red flag.
Big red flag.
But sad to see any game studio like not being able to handle. But for a studio that has 5 satellite offices that are shut downable, but
That's kind of a thing.
the main games that they've put out, is there 2 or more? I mean,
Their big ones are Crisis.
Crisis and Rise, right?
Yeah, Rise. I don't know that it did that well. Crisis is pretty
That's a
awesome.
big one. But
Yeah,
it seems
'cause-
like a lot of.
They also did Robinson the Journey for VR.
Oh,
So that just
So
came
that would
out.
take a studio.
But when I went over to GameStop, they already had pre-owned copies that have
Oh.
come back, and so
doesn't bode well.
their level of replayability for Robinson is not good at all. Like
Yeah.
they said that the person would buy the game and about 2 days later come back.
wow. That's not good.
Yeah, and
That's-
especially it feels like a one-off.
Yeah, that's sad. Sad to see anybody not get paid. Last bit of news that we have is Terry Crews wants to be in Overwatch, and so he visits Blizzard.
Dude, I
He went
love
over to
that
there.
he is
Feel the
drunk.
power.
All I want to say on this is I love that Terry Crews was like, "Hey, my son likes playing games. I'm just gonna play games so I can hang out with my son more."
I
Right.
know, isn't
and he
that
has
fun?
totally freaking embraced it, and the community has totally embraced him. Like
Do it.
this is something that we've talked a lot about on this show is like growing up and incorporating gaming
Right.
into our
Yep.
and like understanding that like gaming is going to play a role in our kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
So the parents that embrace that and like are able to be part of that world with them are definitely going to have a better relationship with their kids than the ones that can't. So good on them.
And there's also something to be said about, like how you interact with someone in a game. Like, is this person going to have your back at all times? Is this going to be something that, we're all going to learn and grow from? Because there are some, like, we've seen really deep storylines in some of these games that we wouldn't have been able to experience otherwise. And having that being passed to your kids, like those values even,
Yep.
I think that is a huge marker. So way to go, Terry. And I can't wait for him to voice Doomfist because I want him to voice Doomfist. That's it.
That's all you want. That's all you want.
I want Doomfist.
It may happen. That's awesome. Could happen. That, my friends, is the news.
Cool beans.
And side note on the news, apparently Tracer is queer.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That didn't make it in there. Yeah.
I was like,
that wasn't announced. I read some articles on that, and most fans were very happy with the way that it was revealed. It wasn't hit over the head. It was just kind of like...
it was just like, well, this is life.
Matching the diversity of our player game population. This is... Sure, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was kind of
I
cool
was
with
just like,
them to do that.
this is cool. Instead of adding a new character, we're going to add a new dimension to the character.
I think that's
Too bad she's so hard to flip and play as.
Oh, I know. I
My
can never play as
gosh.
Tracer. I can't play as Tracer or as Zenyatta. I am not good with them.
I haven't ventured out past like the handful that I know.
Yeah, my little cuddle nest.
Yeah, what's the one that the mech lady, Diva?
Farah.
Diva. Yeah, no,
Oh, Mech. Yeah.
right. The little.
See,
that's my
you
favorite
said
still.
Mech, and then I went Mecha Queen, so
Mecha
that's
Queen.
fair.
Let's talk stories real quick, and then we got.
They didn't update the drop this week, so we can't do new releases.
There's no new releases.
If
you find it online,
the
'Cause nobody
PlayStation blog didn't update it, so we're gonna skip that this week.
That's okay. That's cool by me.
If you find new releases, you
Because
can play them.
let's just soak into stories.
Yeah. How far did you get? I thought through 4 playthroughs, like 4 cycles.
I have 3 truths.
3 truths. Okay.
Oh, see, I got a truth off the bat.
Like once through, and then it
Yeah.
gave you a truth.
Yeah.
And then have you started through another playthrough and like choosing different directions yet?
I'm working through my second playthrough on it. But can I just say that the pop culture references in here are some of the most artful that I have seen.
Oh, totally.
And like I was going to actually write down a list as
There's
I
some
played. They have like
fun ones.
he was talking about his ship, and he was saying how much he loved his ship, and it could do the Kedrol run in 12 paces or something.
Parsecs.
But it's from Star Wars. You can do the Kessel run in 12 parsecs. So they just changed a little bit of the
That's
names, and I'm just like,
fantastic.
I get it, I get the joke. And then there was
I missed that one.
and then it was like some of the trophies were, what does the fox say? Or,
Yep.
And I
You just want to pull that link up I put in the
You got another one in there?
I will stop nerding out eventually, but
Feel free, go ahead, do
the
it.
combat is very fluid. I don't think that it is overly difficult. It's just on that cusp of being difficult enough, the flow of that, and like the psychological concept of flow is what I'm talking about.
I love that because I love to be able to, as it plays through, to be able to just hear those kind of funny references. I found the gameplay to be a little tedious,
It's a little repetitive.
and it didn't really escalate. It wasn't all that difficult. Like as soon as you got a new power, maybe you met a new enemy, and it was like almost too ezy to be like, here, you've got this. Now that's what you get to deal with.
That's what you use for this
That's
guy.
what
But
you use for this guy.
that's like the tutorial kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
here, try out your power on this thing.
And then nothing else gets added upon. So for like hardcore gamers, it was
Oh no, not.
right, or even like casual game, like it was over and over. Like walk into a room, it locks down, you fight some ravens, and then you move on. But in the way of story, it was a very great interactive story.
Right.
I think if you look at it that way, it was tremendous. And being able to go through the same places a couple of times and come back to the same place and go, oh, I have a sword that can open that door now, and then go different direction to find out a new different thing. I enjoyed that. I found that very fun.
I just had fun with it.
So I want to read the. So first of all, it's published by Spearhead Games, rated T, and it received a 73 on Metacritic. But I want to read through the actual description of the game that's listed in Metacritic. So It says in stories, each choice you make takes Renardo into unique narrative. From tongue-in-cheek takes on heroic adventures to dark Lovecraftian scenes, Story's repertoire is as diverse as it is action-packed. But Reynardo's fateful decisions won't always be easy. Sometimes retrieving a weapon lost at the beginning of time means sacrificing the life of an old friend. Even the way that this description reads feels
Dark.
but like story-driven. Like
Yeah.
even this
Yep.
description, I feel like gives you a sense of like the way the story is told. I never felt like, even though it's got that repetitive gameplay elements and it's got it's lacking in some of the I guess lacking in some of the gameplay elements, like the way that you approach enemies and the enemy diversity. I would
Doesn't
say
change.
those things are weak.
Yeah.
But the way that it approaches storytelling, and you can see that even in the way that you read that description,
Yeah.
there was a lot of love put into the way the story's told, the way that you experience the story, and for that reason, I really actually loved this.
Yeah, I
indie game.
think if, going into it, that's what it's going to be. I think that's what it's cool to like okay, that's what the story is going to be. I enjoy very much like even like the little pop-ups that they have when you die or when you fall
Right.
or when you respawn or something. Like
Yeah.
it's just hilarious things that tie right into the narrator. Like it has something to do with like everything. Like
Looks like Renardo stepped off the wrong,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Or like when I
Very,
smash
very
pots and pans.
Bastion-esque.
Renardo loved to break things when he was a child too. Why stop now or something
Yeah.
His
like that.
mom
Like,
never let him swing his sword in the house, so
Yep.
now that he was making up for lost time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That to me, like that just made it fun. So you just throw on the headphones and I'd play. And one night I played without headphones and I had to read everything, so I would stop like in the middle of like whatever I was doing and read it real quick and then go again. Right? But I love the narrator much more. I'll tell you on my screen for some reason I don't get these.
your dash
The
bars?
stamina
You
dash
need to-
bars.
You need to fix your.
Like,
Ratio.
I tried
Fix
it.
your
I fixed
ratio.
it on the outside and I came back in. It was the same. I rebooted and came back in the same. So I was like, I'll figure it out. I didn't even know they were down there. I thought they
your
were
dashes.
above. I didn't know they were, and so I'll just dash. If I can't dash, I can't dash. But anyway, I've enjoyed that. Love the story. Love the
I love the art style too. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
definitely worth mentioning.
yes, beautiful.
It is a
fun.
very cool approach. Like, in a lot of ways, Stories does what we love most about indies, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
they provide you with a unique experience.
Yep.
And in that respect, I think Stories true. Like, there are parts of it that are reminiscent of Bastion. There are
Yep.
parts of it that are reminiscent of even. What's funny is like the combat style is very similar to like the Arkham series. But it still manages to be its own and be unique and have a draw to it, and really where it shines is in the way that it lets you choose your story and you learn from the choices that you've made in the past, whether that is. And so can I go? Are you going to play through more times?
Oh, I will, but you're not going to spoil anything for me.
Like learning that the bunny rabbit is a bad guy.
that was the
works.
first thing that I learned.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you did really?
That was
took
the
me
first-
That was like the last thing I learned. Like so far, I learned lots of other things
Man.
besides that.
Yeah, that was the first. I think the
And
first
then I
thing
learned that, yeah.
as
That was
well.
the first
How
truth.
interesting.
That he was the dirt bag, and
The betrayer.
but what was interesting is when you go back and you play through it again, you still have the option to go save him. It's like,
I know. I was
And I
like,
didn't right away. I made
Yeah,
that
I
choice
was
right
like,
away. I was like,
no.
no, F that guy.
Screw
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
But
totally. And then
did you
it's
did
like-
you play back to save him again or no?
No, I never did. I went
I
back.
mean, you burned me once. Goodbye.
Yeah. So, I wonder though if as you make different decisions, those decisions affect the world as well. In addition, I don't know. I know that there are 24 different
little
endings.
endings, right? Or things that you can find out. I think, right?
I think 24 like.
So there's all the
full-blown
little
endings.
cards that they show, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's 24, and then there's something 4 on the side. Is it like you figure out
Those are the truths.
those are the 4 truths?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I want to play and figure out like I'm only missing one, so I must only have 3 truths. But then I'll have the story. I'm excited about it.
It's cool. Anyway.
No, I
loved
do.
it.
I love it.
Yeah, and
So do you-
it's a PlayStation Plus. I mean,
It's free.
you're not gonna lose out on it.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm when we've done these in the past, I've typically said, okay, so Metacritic gave it a 73. Where would you guys rank this game?
I'm like given the gameplay, it's probably not quite over 90, but I'd still say I'm at 88, 89. Like, I really love how seamless it is, what the story is. I love playing around with it. I'd go up there, 89.
Yeah, and I'd go in that general area as well. I'm not trying to like copy you, but
You can copy me.
Okay, fine, I'm copying you. I agree. It felt like you were saying, like it's sort of like a love letter and all of these callbacks to it, but it still manages to like make its own mark.
Yeah, it really does.
And with indies, you want to make sure that you have one thing and you're going to do that one thing very well and not get distracted by all of this other stuff. So I think that them taking some of the styles and elements from other things allowed them to tell the story. I mean, they named the game stories for a reason.
Which I will say this, probably not a good choice for name.
No.
Like, it's a very generic.
Like SEO-wise, it's pretty difficult to track it down. Yeah.
It's like stories. I was like, okay, that's cute. What kind of stories?
Path of Destinies. You have to add that if you want to find it.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's a very weak title.
It's
they
very,
could have done better.
Oh yeah, title-wise, highly generic, but it's about the stories.
Call it Reynardo's Run. I don't care what it is. Like anything. Like
But
Reynardo something.
Reynardo's
Okay.
Random Adventures.
And the very first thing when you're trying to get the book from the rabbit, his name is Pete, like Peter Rabbit.
Yes, I noticed that.
And Reynardo is Reynard the fox from all of the fables.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
They do. It's
I don't
tons
know
of
the fables.
tons
It's
of
just
very
like
cool like
little
quips
bitty little things.
to pop culture throughout the ages. Really.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I would be probably in the same boat. I'd be somewhere between an 85 and a 90. I'd be comfortable.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd be comfortable at a 90. I'd be comfortable at 85. But I just feel like it was a awesome. I mean, it was a great game to be our kind of welcome back to indie game of the week.
Yes. Yes.
It was a good snuggle down game.
For sure.
I like that. Good snuggle down game.
Yeah, because I didn't have to think when I was doing combat. I didn't really have to think that hard.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. I don't have to think.
That's a benefit.
That is.
Very cool.
Cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 115 of the Little Big Cast. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you
Birthday.
celebrate.
Happy birthday for Drew.
Kwanzaa Christmas. I just say happy holidays because
Kwanzaa Christmas,
technically
It covers it all.
Covers everything.
not because it covers it all, but even like
The alliteration.
even with Christmas, like Christmas Eve is separate from Christmas, so it's
Christmas Eve is a
holy days, holy days. So happy
holidays.
holy days. That's why I say it. Not like I want to be politically correct. I'm
Me
just like
it's
I don't think that I'm
Happy
the only one
winter
that matters.
break.
Either way, we hope you enjoy the next couple of weeks.
Hoorah.
We probably won't be back until after the New Year.
Probably after the New Year.
Yeah.
So we hope you have a great New Year's. We hope you stay safe. And once again, my name has been Jeff Hawks. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Hawks and on the PlayStation Network at Mr. Hawks, MRHOX. Again, thank you for joining. Dr. Robin Hazlett, where
Hoorah.
can people find you?
Usually on PSN, it's LIL352. That's Lil 352.
And our own Master Drew.
I'm always there at night 20, KNITE20, night
Because
20.
you had proper branding.
Nobody knows what it is, but it's all over the place.
I could guess.
No, you
Bring
cannot
it.
guess. We do this
Bring
I
it.
could guess.
often.
No,
We'll
at
guess
least
another
once
time.
every 6 months, we have the guess what
Yep.
night 20 means.
Yep.
I'll have my reveal after New Year's.
Okay, send
'Cause it
your
has-
guesses
it has
to our
do
Twitter.
with Christmas, but I don't want to ruin Christmas for anyone else. Has to
Tweet
do with
us.
Santa's elves.
Tweet us LittleBigKast and see if you can figure out what night 20 means. Put your guesses in now.
Anyway, this has been episode 115. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you later.
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.